Yay! It's payday. Time to enjoy the reward of your hard work. You can finally try out that new restaurant everyone's been talking about. You can now clear your cart. Oh, the wonderful day that is payday. There's no stopping you. But hold up. Before you blow your income, here are 8 things to do when you get paid. 1. Pay yourself first. So you just got paid. You're still basking in the euphoria of your income, hitting your checking account, and then it hits you. You've got bills to pay, groceries to get, credit card balance to settle, and a host of different things to take care of. This is my least favorite thing about payday, but we gotta do what we gotta do. It's easy to get sucked into paying your rent, utilities, and what have you. I want to deal with my bills, so I know that whatever I have left is mine. But you know what you should do? You need to pay yourself too. You have to start treating your savings account like a bill you pay monthly as well. I learned this from the world-famous billionaire Warren Buffett. Buffett infamously said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." He believes people need to pay themselves before anything else, because it's easy to pay everyone else and forget about yourself. And I'm not just talking about bills here. Let's picture this. You pay your bills. What next? You start feeling like you've been so responsible and you deserve to have fun. Next thing, you're blowing away what you have left without keeping something aside for yourself. Work hard, play hard, right? Before you pay your bills or have fun, pay yourself first. That's the first step when you get paid.
Anything you do that invests in yourself, that's the best investment you can possibly make. And then I would follow my passion. I mean, whatever turns you on.
2. Save for emergencies. You next want to save money for emergencies when you've paid yourself. I can hear you groaning, but I've already paid myself. What do I need emergency savings for again? You see that money you set aside to pay yourself? I don't want you to take that as your entire savings. If you do that, you know what will happen? You'll have to dip into that in case of an emergency, and if you've exhausted your disposable income, that is inevitable. Emergencies happen, and they could be severe or mild. Nothing can stop them. Not you, not anyone. That's why you should be adequately prepared for emergencies so they don't take you by surprise. Unfortunately, bad things do happen to good people, and instead of worrying without action, I plan ahead so I'm never caught unawares. I'll advise you to prepare for financial surprises before they happen. That's why it's called an emergency. It can happen at any time. Saving systematically towards an emergency fund is the second thing to do when you get paid.
When I was 21, we went through Las Vegas, and I went in and I saw all these well-dressed people who had come 1,000 miles or so, and they'd come to do stupid things. And I looked around, and I thought, boy, am I going to get rich. I mean, imagine going 1,000 miles to throw a bunch of dice where you know you're going to lose money over time if you keep doing it. Those people are making decisions in the stock market, and they set prices, and all you have to do is every now and then look at one and say, wait, that doesn't make any sense in terms of where it's selling.
When you set out to do this, strictly define emergencies. A phone or car upgrade is not an emergency. If your car suddenly breaks down, or you have to pay unexpected hospital bills, that is an emergency. Then I calculate how much I would need to survive if I lost my source of income. I multiply that by 6 to 9 months and try my best to save up to that. Remember, emergency savings are not there to make you money. It provides a cushion that protects your long-term savings and investments from unexpected short-term expenditures. 3. Budget. Before you play hard with your money, you need to set a budget to help you play hard without blowing your entire income. I know what you're thinking. Budgeting feels like I don't have enough. It feels restricting. No. You think this way because you probably don't know how to budget correctly. And when you don't budget correctly, you can't portion your income correctly. If some areas in your budget aren't adequate, you may resent budgeting. I used to be like this. At the mere mention of budget, I'm out of there. I'm not trying to associate myself with scarcity. Budgeting implies scarcity, and this used to be my mindset, but I understood the true meaning and power of budgeting, and it has been a game changer. That you worked hard doesn't mean you should play hard with all your income. This is the reason why most people live payday to payday. They need to understand their income can support. The fact that you earn $3,000 monthly doesn't mean you should spend it all. It's tempting, I know. That's a lot of money that you worked hard for. Besides, you'll get another next month. It doesn't matter if you spend it all now. No, don't do it. It's a trap. An endless cycle of living from paycheck to paycheck. A budget shows you how to allocate your resources correctly. When you create a budget and stick to it, you know how to allocate your income to work for you, and even better, you can spend guilt-free. So make sure to create a budget when you get paid so you don't spend all your hard-earned income at once. 4. Pay your debt. After bills, this is the next least favorite thing about payday, repaying debt. It's such a downer. Unfortunately, you can't escape it. You've got to pay it back, and the best time to do this is when you get paid. Why does it have to be when I get paid? I want to relax and enjoy my money. I get it, trust me, I do. But you want to repay any debt you have when you get paid. And I'm talking about all kinds of debt, loans, late payments, and especially high-interest debt. You want to tackle high-interest debt first, because the longer you take to pay it off, the higher the interest you have to pay. And who wants to spend almost all their income repaying debt? Not me. I'm sure you don't want that either. When you get paid, paying off your debt should be on your priority list. You don't wait until the next payday or until you have a lump sum because the interest keeps mounting. So pay your debt when you get paid. You'll be lifting a huge weight off your shoulders. So, from my analytics, most of you watching my videos are not subscribed. That is a travesty. You can change that by hitting that subscribe button so you never miss any uploads. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it with whoever needs it. Thank you. Let's get back into it.
Well, you never want to owe money you can't pay. I'm basically against debt. I mean, I think the average individual will live a lot happier life if they avoid. They certainly ought to avoid credit card debt. I mean, there's no reason in the world to pay 18% for money. I can't make money paying 18% for money. So why should people up and down the street, do that? So avoid debt. If you have savings, and it's a good idea to have them if you can have them, just buy index funds and just buy them every month.
5. Invest 20% of your income. I know, I'm no fun. What's the point of going through all these hassles just to get paid? But I assure you, you'll be glad you did. As many people as there are investing, so many others are not doing the same, which is understandable. You've heard countless horror stories, and you're sure your money will go down the same route if you invest. I'll tell you this, overcome your fear of risk. No one ever succeeds without taking some form of risk. Life itself is a risk. Warren Buffett says, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. The key here is to do the necessary research to be fully armed with knowledge. One common theme with people is thinking they have all the time in the world to start saving or investing. Time is money, and you cannot buy back any time lost. Don't put off investing because you think you need more money to invest or you want to wait till the next payday. Start now with the little you have and watch it blossom over time. Now, I'm not saying you should use your entire income to invest. Setting aside 20% of my income to improve my net worth has been a good idea. 20% should be a minimum, as you'll have other expenses to take care of. You can use this to acquire assets that will provide you with an extra source of income. These assets could be land, stock portfolio, rental property, etc.
You're working in something where you're living off your paycheck from week to week. You want to have a little cash around, and you certainly don't want to have a credit card that's maxed out or anything like that. But if your house is paid off, if you don't have big living expenses, you got a portfolio of decent diversified businesses.
6. Create a spending plan. Apart from having a budget and sticking to it, a spending plan is something you should create when you get paid. Having a budget is one thing. Sticking to it is another. Being strict with your budget is where a spending plan comes in. Sometimes, sticking strictly to a budget is challenging. You may have to make amends or spend a little more in some areas. Things happen, and nothing can change that. Even if you have a tight rein on managing your income, you still need a spending plan. Most times, if you don't work with a spending plan, you may not know where your hard-earned income goes, despite having a budget. I understand if you're waiting for your income to increase in the nearest future so that you can take more actionable steps. But it would be best if you didn't wait for that. Learning to manage what you already have will help you take control and make the most of what you have. To do this, you need to understand clearly where your income goes and where you want it to go. Then as your income increases, you'll do better managing it more effectively. If you think a spending plan is unimportant, let's check these out. Do you remember that time you made a quick stop at the ATM? Remember, it wasn't just once or twice. How about the time you dashed to the grocery store for some milk and eggs? Or when you bought those shoes because they were on sale and you didn't want to miss them? All these happened with your budget in place. Do you see why you need a spending plan to track your expenses? These little expenses, if left unchecked, could end up leaving a big hole in your income, so track your expenses. 7. Keep some cash. Cash is king. If you doubt me, check out Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. They are die-hard believers in keeping raw cash. These two men have stated that they like to keep at least $20 billion in cash, just in case of emergencies or sudden good deals. You should consider this one if you take nothing else from this video. Having cash is understated. Nowadays, we live in an almost cashless society. Going cashless is not a bad thing because I also enjoy it. I love the ease of whipping out my card to make payments without worrying about having enough cash. My favorite thing about online shopping is its convenience. Still, it's not enough to eliminate the importance of having cash at hand. When I get paid, I like to keep some cash on me. It helps me limit the number of times I withdraw from my account, and most importantly, I don't have to dip into my savings constantly.
Probably $400 or $500.
$400 or $500
Something like that,
in
yeah.
cash.
Yeah,
Is that what you're always carrying?
I generally carry something like that.
In
yeah.
20.
8. Outsource. Time is money, and why waste time on mundane tasks when you can outsource them and do something productive? You can outsource your grocery shopping, laundry, cleaning, and food preparation if you don't mind. You can take that time to do something productive like resting, meditating, or going for a walk or run. You could even use that time to create another source of income. It could be freelancing, babysitting, creating a podcast or a YouTube channel. The possibilities are endless. And these are the 8 steps to do when you get paid. Please leave your comments below and I'll see you next video. If you want to turn your finances around and attain financial freedom, I suggest you watch this video.